TV, the heart of the matter.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Hello there, good morning and welcome to this midweek. My name is Henry Uzo, and on Morning Dew, we are taking you around the stories that are making the headlines, especially from the papers. And of course, we have sports coming up. We anticipate entertainment gist, and of course, business updates. Maybe one or two conversations. But I can tell you it's a full house this morning because we have Success, we have Priska, and of course, Dr. Ife in the studio. You're all welcome.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Uzo.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Yes, a very wonderful Wednesday to you this morning. Rise and shine. This is Morning Dew on Dott Television, where we bring you topical stories and headlines making waves across the globe. I am Success Benjamin. Priska, good to see you this morning.
Same here, Success. Good
look
morning.
smashing.
You too. We're so happy to see you today, viewers, and we're promising you that today is going to be a very wonderful one. It's fully packed, just as the house is packed, and so we're bringing it to you hot from the pages of the papers and, of course, other issues making the round this morning. I must confess, I'm particularly delighted to see Dr. Ife this morning. If you welcome back.
It's so good to be here. I bring you greetings from the good people of Warri Kingdom.
Okay,
Yes,
you're welcome.
we
So you are
witnessed-
cargo warrior, eh?
Yes, a bit of the...
Yes, more PG for that side.
Exactly. The excitement in the air as the fifth coronation of the 21st Olu of Warri is palpable. Everywhere within the city, you'll see the king. People are celebrating him. So I'm happy to be back to Asaba.
You're
The
welcome.
big,
So, what did you come back with?
well, the greetings from
Only
the people of
greetings. You
Warri.
didn't bring any Gary, then you didn't go to work.
Don't worry, I'll go back. My name is Ife Arono, and on Morning Dew this morning, we'll have a full package for you. Do not go away. Shortly, we'll bring you the news updates. Stay with us.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, welcome to News Update on Morning Dew. First, we'll bring you stories from the FCT, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has ordered the immediate demolition of houses and other structures obstructing designated waterways and drainage channels in Abuja. Wike gave the directive on Tuesday, August 18, 2026, after respecting areas affected by the recent flooding in Maitama and other parts of the Federal Capital Territory. The minister directed the FCT Development Control Department to commence the demolition of structures found to be blocking waterways channels, with the exercise expected to continue until Saturday. Wike said the recent flooding exposed several violations of the Abuja Master Plan, particularly the construction of buildings on designated stormwater channels. He warned that no property owner would be spared regardless of their political or social status, saying some of the affected properties belonging to senators and other influential Nigerians. The minister said the government would no longer tolerate situations where property owners blocked waterways because previous flooding incidents had not affected them. According to him, the inspection showed that some property owners had deliberately blocked channels designed to convey storm waters, thereby worsening flooding in parts of the capital. Wike also identified human activities including construction on waterways and blockage and blocked drainage channels as major factors contributing to flooding in Abuja. He insisted that the FCT administration has the political will to enforce the Abuja Master Plan and restore designated waterways and drainage corridors. The demolition exercise, which commenced in Maitama on Tuesday, is expected to extend to other flood-prone areas where structures have been identified as obstructing waterways. The development follows recent flooding in parts of Abuja, including the high-profile Maitama area, prompting renewed concerns over drainage infrastructure, urban planning, and compliance with the city's development master plans. Former President Goodluck Jonathan has raised concerns over the growing practice of serving governors, political leaders, and government officials converging on states during off-cycle election. Jonathan, in a statement issued on Tuesday, August 18, in Abuja, said the trend could threaten Nigeria's fragile democracy if allowed to continue. His comments followed the recent concluded Osun State governorship election, where several APC governors and their aides reportedly mobilized to Osogbo to support the party's candidate, Bola Oyembaji, who second behind incumbent Governor Ademola Adeleke. Jonathan noted that similar developments were witnessed during the governorship election in Ekiti and Ondo states. While commending INEC security agencies, political parties, and the people of Osun for their conduct, he said political mobilization on election day must have clear boundaries. The former president recalled that similar situations occurred during the 2013 Anambra and 2014 Ekiti elections under his administration, saying he took decisive action at the time. He called for a national conversation involving security agencies, the National Assembly, the Nigeria Bar Association, the Nigeria Governors Forum, civil society organizations, and the media. Jonathan also urged the National Peace Committee to lead the discussions and help establish clear boundaries for political conduct during elections. Now on entertainment, Nigerian Afrobeat star David Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, has urged older music artists to give younger musicians more room in the spotlight. Davido made the remark during a recent episode of the Court podcast, saying it is unfair for established artists to compete with younger artists for attention. The singer said he and his contemporaries should gradually step back from the music scene over the next 5 to 6 years to allow younger artists to take over. Davido added that his extensive music catalog would allow him to take a 10-year break and still return to sell out at major arenas. He stressed that he was not calling for retirement, but believed artists should explore other opportunities beyond music rather than compete with artists in their 20s. Now on football, Arsenal have confirmed their squad members for the 2026-2027 Premier League season with the new signings Bruno Guimaraes, Christos Tizolis, and Leon Meslier receiving new shirt numbers. Guimaraes will wear number 26, while Tizolis has been handed number 15, and Meslier will wear number 22. The club also confirmed other squad members' changes following the departures of some players from last season's title-winning team. The changes come as manager Mikel Arteta prepares Arsenal for another Premier League campaign and a fresh title challenge. Now on the foreign scene, Meta Platforms, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, has been accused of deliberately making its platforms addictive to children in pursuit of profit. The lawyer from California made the allegation on Tuesday as a major trial began against the social media giants California, Colorado, Kentucky, and New Jersey are seeking age restrictions and an end to features such as infinite scrolling, which they say encourages excessive use. The states accuse Meta of studying children's responses to online content and tracking their activities to increase user engagement and profits. Meta has denied the allegations. The case, which began in 2023, could result in significant penalties and potentially reshape how social media platforms operate. We wrap it here for news updates on Morning Dew. Stay with us, plenty more to come. When we return, don't go away.
With us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, welcome back. And of course, we're going to the papers, what they are saying this morning. We're looking at the headlines, starting with Daily Independence. It says FCCPC establishes possible manipulation of cement prices. Wike orders demolition of houses blocking water channels. The banner headline there says 2027 election, Tinubu warns against ethnic religious politics. Tells candidates election should not be do or die affair. Tinubu Obi orders sign peace accord. Atiku Makinde absent. Amopitan says campaign start today, warns against hate speech. INEC prepares 1.4 million ad hoc personnel across 176,000 polling units. All that as riders to that headline. And then, of course, rising food prices show Tinubu government has run out of ideas, ADC speaking. Terrorists killed 23 people in latest attack on Plateau community. Oshupo Adeleke debunks claims of any alliance with ADC. And then, of course, Bank of Industry credits Tinubu's economic reforms for 250 billion naira bond over subscription. And then, of course, we have FG vows to protect 2027 polls from cyber attacks, fake news. Then finally, we have National Assembly overwhelmed by 14,000 world force, 3,005 bills in 3 years. I think there's still another one down there. FG states LG's share 3.007 trillion naira revenue for July. All that on the Daily Independent.
Now, moving away from Daily Independent, let's see what the Daily Times is saying this morning. 15,000 naira per bag. FCCPC summons cement giants over suspected price fixing. Now, above the masthead, we have INEC to deploy 1.4 million personnel in 2027 election, Amaputin tells IRA. FAC jackpot, FG states local governments share record 3,007 trillion naira in July. And down here we have presidential governorships, NAS candidates sign peace accord, commit to peaceful campaigns. And that's all we could take for the Daily Times.
And now moving to the New Telegraph for this morning, we have the bold headline that says 2027 general election, fireworks as campaign begins. And we have other headlines there coming from the Former president of Nigeria, Jonathan condemns heavy presence of governors and political leaders at off-cycle election. And we have another headline coming from INEC saying 2027 poll, a competitive job interview. And that's INEC speaking there. Another headline there says cement prices manipulation. SCCPC to commence probe, summons key players. And from entertainment, we have Davido celebrates Adeleke's victory, unveils plans for Osun youth. Of course, we have that big headline up there saying Dangote Refinery secures $1 billion backing ahead of IPO. And of course, that's from the business scene. And on insecurity, another headline, 23 killed, many injured in fresh Plateau attack. That's the much we can take from the New Telegraph this morning.
Let's now find out what's on the front page of Business Day. We have the major headline on Business Day. Nigeria's 2027 race pits economic reforms against cost of living pain. And we have this rider, economy, insecurity, debt crisis dominate as campaigns begin today. As well, Tinubu, Atiku will be lead crowded presidential race. That's trending across the papers that we have seen. We also have this one there, Nigeria's $700 million Maritime Rescue Fund caught in approval maze. That's on Business News. We also have on Business, CBN's new OMO rules to drive rates hold despite cooling inflation. These are the topical stories on the front page of Business Day.
Okay, so now we move to the Daily Trust this morning with a bold headline, FCTA begins demolition as encroachment spreads. And of course, we'll have other headlines there. Atiku absent as parties' candidates sign peace accord. How I escaped meal that killed my fellow. That's coming from Al-Majirai. Personal experience there. Another headline, immorality. Datti Baba Ahmed replies Sowore on his accusation for what is happening within the country. And that's the much we can take from the Daily Trust this morning.
Now moving on to the Nigerian Tribune, we have here residents alleged rip-off as cooking gas sells for 1,500 naira per kg in Lagos, Ogun. FCCPC finds possible price manipulation in Nigeria's cement markets. Now the topical headline here, INEC projects over 100 million registered voters for 2027 poll to deploy 1.4 million ad hoc personnel, over 176,000 polling units. Police warn against armed groups' use of illegal firearms as Tinubu Obi orders sign peace accord. Atiku ADC absent. Committee facilitated 30 peace accords since 2015. Abdul Salami, we are committed to accord principle, Tinubu. And that's the rider following that major story. And here we have Osun APC Guba candidate Oye Bamiji calls for calm, raises alarm over attacks on supporters. UI Unilag lead Nigerian universities in global ranking. Now on Earth, we have DRC Ebola outbreak spreading at unprecedented rate, WHO warns. Off-cycle elections, influx of governors, other poses threats to Nigerians' democracy. That's Jonathan speaking. 24 killed, many missing, others injured in fresh Plateau attack. And that's all we could take for Nigerian Tribune.
All right, we'll go over to The Guardian. And of course, on The Guardian, we have Tinubu unveils Ogun Food Bank as ADC berates FG over living costs. Obi seeks end to killings as fresh attacks claim over 58 lives in Sokoto, Benue, Plateau. 2027, INEC projects over 100 million registered voters to deploy 1.4 million ad hoc staff. The banner headline says, candidates, parties doubt peace accord as election campaigns begin. And of course, Ezekwesili BUDGT. Is that budget?
Yes.
Okay, Ezekwesili. Budget task FG on 746 million pounds UK ports deal review. Fiscal transparency. FG states LGA share 3 trillion naira as July revenue rises by 658.08 billion naira. And of course, finally, we have South Africa rejects xenophobic tag as more Nigerians return home. Okay, there's one on Nelfund, sets 45-day deadline for student loan payout. All that on the Guardian.
Yes, moving away from the Guardian, moving over to the Nation this morning, we have here, Adeleke rejects A-to-C deal claim. U.S. lifts 12-year restriction on Nigerian vessels. Why we are launching National Food Bank by First Lady. And here we have parties commit to clean polls, issue-based campaigns. Tinubu, Atiku, Obi, others signed peace accord. Pact preludes fanning of ethnic religious members. And that's all we could take for the Nation.
And now move to the Punch newspaper. On the Punch newspaper, we have a headline up there that says 36 states' budgets jump 47% to 43 trillion naira. Capital spending falls. FG states councils share record 3 trillion naira in July. On salary crisis, the NLC warns of fresh health sector strike. And we have the bold headline, Tinubu, Obi, others sign peace pact as campaign begins today. Tinubu warns against ethnic religious politics and Obi demands issue-based campaign. And we have additional headlines down there. Nigerians pay more for cement than African neighbors. That's coming from the SCCPC. And on drug-related issues, another headline, NDLEA nabs alleged cocaine baron fleeing to Paris. And a final one there, we have no alliance. Adeleke denies ADC role in re-election. That's the much we can take from the Punch newspapers.
Those are the punches of the Punch. And from there, we move to Daily Sun. And 2027 is trending across national dailies. We still have the story on the peace accord and the president warning politicians against unguarded utterances, ethnic and religious laws. Of course, insecurity still, 24 killed in fresh plateau attack, get mass burial. That's a sad one. Mofwang 6 calm. PDP demands security emergency. ADC condemns killings. Women protest. The major headline on Daily Sun this morning, Jonathan faults APC governor's involvement in Osun poll. And here are the writers. Says show of force undemocratic. 6 new rules for off-cycle elections. Wabara, Adeleke's victory, triumph of people's will. And we have below there at the bottom of the front page, we have this one still on 2027 election. Southeast youths vow to end impunity with PVC. FCCPC probes price manipulation in Nigeria's cement market is still trending. Dangote refinery gets $600 million investment, commits $400 million to IPO. And Wike is still in the news. If Tinubu wanted APC to win, he would have drafted me to Osun. And we have this writer, just one there, unveils more projects to transform Abuja, targets December completion. That's on Daily Sun.
And moving to the Vanguard newspaper this morning, we have a headline, US lifts 12-year entry restriction on Nigerian vessels. And for events going down today, another headline says IBB, IGP, Ike Nwachukwu, Oshoba, Obaigbena, others for Vanguard at 40 book launch today. And we have trapped in your vehicle, Lagos roads turned into extortion charge. We have other headlines there coming below. Say, stay away from off-cycle elections. Jonathan tells governors, powerful politicians. We seem to have that across board this morning on the papers. Another headline, breach honorary degree rules. Face 2-year ban, NUC warning varsities. Another headline still talks about the cement manipulation price from the FCCPC, high cost of cement. FCCPC probes possible price manipulation, and that seems to be also running across board this morning on the papers. Another headline, 24 killed, many injured in fresh Plateau attack. Of course, we have that bold headline from the Vanguard this morning, high hurdles before candidates parties, and we have riders. 8 states announced 20 million to 200 million permit fees. That's how much we can take from the Vanguard this morning.
All right, moving over to the Empire newspaper we have here. Above the masthead, Tantata's pipeline protection boosts Nigeria's oil revenue, employs over 60,000 Niger Delta youths. And down here we have APC disagree with Tinubu over Adeleka's victory, rejects Osun election results. Now the topical headline says, opposition can defeat Tinubu if. That's Wike speaking. And that's all for the newspaper headlines. Stay with us. When we return, we'll take a look at the topical stories, how it affects the next.
Wake up with us every morning. Up with us every morning.
The news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Good morning and welcome to Today in History on Dott TV, where we throw back to important events and personalities connected to this day in previous years. August 19th has witnessed significant moments in Nigeria's political, legal, and democratic history, as well as major events and personalities around the world. A notable event happened in 1994 when the military government of General Sani Abacha arrested prominent pro-democracy figures, including Chief Anthony Enahoro, General Alani Akinrinade, and Chief Cornelius Adebayo at the Sheraton Hotel in Lagos. Also on this day in 1916, prominent First Republic politician Chief Augustus Meredith Adisa Akinloye was born. He later served as Minister of Agriculture and Natural Resources and became chairman of the National Party of Nigeria. In another significant event in 2002, a Sharia court in Katsina State upheld the death by stoning sentence against Amina Lawal, attracting widespread international attention and debate over women's rights in Nigeria's legal system. Going further back, historical accounts associate August 19th, 1805 with Scottish explorer Mungo Park's expedition along the River Niger during European efforts to determine the course of the river. On the international scene, Afghanistan gained independence from Britain in 1919, marking a major moment in the country's history. In 1934, Adolf Hitler consolidated his position as Germany's supreme leader following a national plebiscite, paving the way for his complete control of Nazi Germany. Also in 1960, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 5, carrying animals into space and returning them safely, a major milestone in the space race. August 19th also marks the birthdays of notable personalities. Coco Chanel, the influential French fashion designer and founder of the Chanel fashion house, was born in 1883. In 1946, Bill Clinton, who later became the 42nd president of the United States, was born. And in ancient history, Augustus, the first Roman emperor, died on August 19th, AD 14, after ruling the Roman Empire for more than 4 decades. Interestingly, August 19th brings together Nigeria's struggle for democracy, major milestones in world history, and the lives of influential personalities across different eras. Those are some of the moments and personalities that made August 19th significant in Nigerian and world history. I am Peace Nwokburu. Thanks for watching.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We read out quite a flurry of headlines to you, most of them centered around the 2027 election. That's why we're going to dwell there for some reasons. Let's start this way. Campaigns start today for the presidential election. Ify, let's start with you. What are we looking at? What are we expecting given the situation in the country where transportation has become very expensive? Because we used to see them. The presidential campaign, we try to cover all of the state capitals, flying down, mobilizing their people that are nearby and all that. Now, with the situation in the country, bad roads, and how is that going to affect the campaigns?
It's called the campaign train, and we expect that we'll still see the campaigns. Of course, you know that people at that level, they fly across the country. So, but for those who are to welcome their adherents and members of political parties, those are the ones who will have to bother about how to get to campaign rally grounds. But we do know that when it comes to politics, Nigerians are so excited, they want to identify.
They save money for it.
Yes, they want to identify with the party that they support. Okay. Now, let's just set this in perspective. We, of course, know that Section 98, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act 2026 provides that campaign in public by every political party shall commence 150 days before polling day. Of course, today is 150 days before the date of the election, 16th of January 2027. And it will end before polling day, 24 hours before polls start. So that is to say that this complies with the revised INEC timetable that we're running with and the provisions of the Electoral Act. So Nigerians are advised to be decorous now, because we know election time, campaign time, people can go overboard, but we all need to know that it is one Nigeria that we're coming together for. And it is not a do or die affair.
That's what Tinubu said.
Yes, even the political gladiators will still tell you it's not a do or die affair. But then you find
they want to die.
You find that their adherence is more like when it gets to campaign time, people can, and we are expecting as well to see a sense of stomach infrastructure as well, because we know that the economy is biting hard. So we want our people should watch out for these things and say no to vote buying that is about to start today. Okay. Because once post-campaign starts, you can expect that certain things start exchanging hands.
Okay. Well, I'm coming to you because I told you. So my concern is transportation. For instance, any presidential candidate is coming to Asaba, the state capital of Delta. It's expected that adjoining states, Anambra, Edo, Bayelsa, they should find their way to support their principal. I'm talking about the bad roads now. How are they going to manage, and the high cost of fuel? How is that going to affect their campaign? It's important to talk about that.
Well, I believe that before the elections or the campaigns start, there will be funds that would have been set aside for the purpose of that.
From who?
From the party.
From the party.
They would have set aside, certain funds.
Mobilization funds.
Mobilization funds, yes, for this purpose. But of course, that does not take away the fact that we have a series of bad roads in the country, and we really need to do something about this. Of course, we're seeing road constructions go on across the states, but there's one thing that I have noticed, I don't know if you have, and that is the trending issue of the road is constructed today or patched up. And then shortly after, a few months down the line, at the most a year after, and you see that same road is having potholes and all of that, then you start wondering, what is wrong?
You are going to another issue. I'm talking about how the roads are now, how they affect the election.
How they're going to go.
Are we going to have that massive crowd, people trooping in from everywhere to state capitals?
I think they will, because the mobilization
fund from political parties is
I think you are in the know.
And of course, that we are having the campaigns for the presidential and national assembly elections. So it's more like the center is going to move to states.
Okay.
So the combined fund from the presidency and that of the National Assembly members is enough to mobilize. And these people, they maintain their party structures already.
Okay.
Because these people, there are people who get paid naturally because they are members of political parties. Are you aware?
I don't need to be aware. Now, let's come to success. Let's look at this angle.
Yes.
The peace accord was signed yesterday amongst the parties and their candidates to say, of course, usually it's against violence, no violence, hate speech is not allowed and all that. But one political party, or two, Makinde and Atiku are said to be absent. Now, what does that do to the peace accord? By the time one or two political
Party.
parties are not
Just
part
one.
of the accord? Is it that it's
Yes.
not binding on them?
It's not. I don't think it's not binding on them, because if you have other parties, which is more than the one or two, that
were
means
absent.
it flies.
Okay.
It flies, it bounds. So I think, and this coming at this time, this sensitive period, because election campaign begins today.
Okay.
So it's very important that this accord piece is being signed, and every other political opposition parties are involved in it. Just having just one or two does not mean it's not binding or it's not holding. And I'm so much happy about this, because this is going to bring about reduced hate speech, most especially even inciting issues, avoiding ethnic and religious differences and all that, combating misinformation, most importantly. So that also it's ideal at this point in time. And I think the INEC chairman has really done a lot, coming about with this idea, and the presidency himself keying into this means he wants a free and fair election in 2027.
Okay, talking about hate
Just to-
speech,
yeah.
Henry, I hope you remember what happened shortly before the Osun election, where we had the Father Osi calling for killing and all of that. Although, of course, he was invited by the police. But I think things like this are beginning to reoccur, where someone makes election or gets into a certain political position, a do or die affair, and we really need to back away from
Yes,
that.
it's the reason for this accord, peace accord.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now,
It's the reason for
now,
it.
Let's drive back to the peace
let's go
accord.
back to the peace
Yes, the
accord
peace
now.
accord.
For instance, the man you are talking about, Father Hussein,
Yeah.
we have not heard of anything that happened to
happened
him
to
to
him.
serve as deterrent.
Invited.
It was only invited.
Is a
Was
subtle way.
invited,
Yes.
He was not detained.
Perhaps, of course, we've seen how the Osun election flowed.
Yeah.
So we do not know what happened backstage, but we
Okay.
do know that whatever they might have been talking about or planning did not pull through, because
Okay.
the elections, it's done and dusted. But driving back fully to the peace accord, the parties who were not present, do we know why they were not present?
Okay.
Is it because there are certain things that may happen because of the particular time when it was fixed and all of that, maybe unavailability of the person, given certain maybe very
No, but it's not about
reasons.
person, it's about
Yes.
parties.
Yes.
So
It's
if
about
if
parties.
Atiku could
If-
not
if
come,
it's
Atiku
not
could
there,
have sent
yes,
somebody
it's
to represent.
representative.
A person like
should
that
be
Igwe
there.
was mentioned. For the president to feature in person, that tells you that perhaps there is a clause that they will have to attend in person to sign such a peace accord. So my question now is there a provision for people to sign when they are available?
They are available.
Because I know it's just to append your signature to it, but I'm
Shows
also
they're
sure that there
correct.
was also this thing about coming together at a particular time that tells everyone the conviviality of it, and possibly handshake by the parties involved is also part of what we would have loved to
To
see.
seal the deal.
That everyone was fully carried along at that point. But we do hope that those who were not present get the opportunity as well to be part of it.
They're
I
only
think the
doing
point that success made stays, whether you came or not.
or not.
It's
It's binding on you.
It's binding.
Because it has become a tradition now that we sign the peace accord, but how much we implement it is my concern.
Yes, that's a concern.
But
How much
let's
we
still
implement it.
shift on this 2027 election. INEC is saying that we have projected over 1 million voters to vote. Is that a plus or a minus? You know, that we have over 100 million people. Of course, we are projected to be 220 million. Okay, so that figure, we'll keep it in mind, because I know we're going to come back to see how many people voted, in there. But then 100 and over 100 million. Is that a good job done by us? That's a pass mark.
Well, the idea is that when it comes to election figures, the more the merrier, because that's when you're sure that you can fully cover. So that brings us back to election PVC registrations and all of that, and how that at different points INEC has opened up for registration of new voters and all. We know that the strength of not just Nigeria but Africa as a continent is the youth population.
Yeah.
So we do know that there are high chances that we have more persons who were not captured
Before.
who do not have PVCs. And that is why we're having this level of, it's just a fraction of the entire population, and in fact, of the entire electoral strength of Nigeria. So that also tells us that we need to do a lot of work to ensure that those who are within the age brackets are captured before subsequent elections. So INEC needs to go back to the drawing board. Josh Amopito and his team, they need to sit down and think. At some point, you would remember that INEC called for new recruitment, and that shows you as well that INEC might not quite have the personnel, to
do the registration.
Yes. So we of course know that we've also seen the Japa syndrome that has discouraged young Nigerians from staying in the country because of the economic situation. So these are the issues. We must be able to retain our young people, because the strength of INEC is the youth who work with INEC, who are able to, because that work is hard.
Now, let's look at the issue of apathy, because I know Nigerians will know how to come late on issues. Sorry, because several times INEC has had cause to say we are starting voter registration or re-registration, and then you find that people sit down in their homes, the workers will be there waiting for people to come. They don't come, and then when it is a day to, then you see them. Then INEC will keep shifting the deadline.
Dates.
Now, the apathy from us. How much political awareness do you say we have now to ensure that as many as are age 18, they see the responsibility to go and register, and then do you think we are outgrowing that?
Well, looking at how the Osun election turned out, one could say that would serve as, a springboard for other Nigerians. Because one thing I've noticed when it comes to the issue of voter apathy is that a lot of Nigerians have lost faith in the fact that their vote counts or not. So I have spoken with some Nigerians, youth, and they feel that there's no point going to these polling units, because before the day of the election, they feel that most of these political parties, especially those that are stronger, have already decided who is going to be there. So they feel it's just you going to perform a ritual that is not necessary, because the result has already been decided. And so I think that's one of the things that inform voter apathy in Nigeria. Of course, we saw that in the Osun election, where we noted that we have, based on the Census or National Population Commission, NDC's figures and statistics from 2006, the last time the data was taken, that we had over 3.4 million people in Osun State. Of course, from 2006 to now, using demographics and measurement, you could say from the data and statistics I saw that projecting we could have about 4.7 million to 5.8 million residents in Osun State. But out of all of these figures, even if we're going to pick the last status or population census from Osun State, which is 3.4 million, we have just about 1.9 million
that
who actually
vote.
came out.
No, they
to
didn't come
register.
out.
Yes,
Those
they
are the ones
registered.
registered to
Now,
vote.
the ones that came out
yes.
to vote was just 1,010,000 thereabouts.
Okay.
And then the valid vote cast, we're looking at about 1,005,000 and thereabouts.
No, that's not. The valid votes are not our business. The people that eventually voted. Now, success.
Yes.
I may think that there's an improvement in awareness from NSAS. If you look at the social media and how the youth were mobilized for the last election, I think there's an improvement. What's your take on that? Because there is so much being talked about. You take over your country, take over your country. They couldn't do that without registering. Could that have affected registration?
Not really. Like she rightly said that, Nigerians have gone to this, point where they feel that their votes are no longer counted, or, they already, and the political parties already know who they want to win. And it has been gazetted already. Let me use that term here now. But most importantly, voters' education is very important at this point in time. Yeah, so always. And at this point in time, it is very important. Those eligible to vote is also very important for them to be educated, the procedures and everything they need to know about, the elections, how to go about their voting, how to go about their registration, and so on and all that. So, but I will say for 2023, we have more persons voted. We have more voters.
No, I'm concerned about the youth.
So the youth now, yes, right now the youth are also following the trends. They are following up because they want to see a better Nigeria. They want to see a better system that is going to work both for them and their children to come and the generation to come. So the youth are, following the trend right now, and they are there. They want to see it work. If you look closely, the Osun election, you will see that the youth, they actually came out in mass
Okay.
to ensure that their votes are being counted, and they secured their votes.
We also have the
Yes,
elderlies.
the elderlies are there, but the youths, they
The
came
youth, of
out.
course, they
They
usually
came
the
out
first.
in mass because the elderlies cannot really do much, because we didn't see more of the videos. You will see a video whereby some of the youths, they held a man, they brought that man to, a security personnel, that this person, that the APC are selling, they are buying votes. And they brought out the car because they have to bring the man as an evidence. The man brought out the cash. So
Okay.
the elders cannot do that, but the
Let's
youth
let's
will,
let's
actually
let's
do
pick
that.
up that. All I
Contribute to
wanted
what
to
she's saying.
all I wanted to establish is that the youths are,
They are.
they are conscious about
Yes, they
participating
are.
in elections now. So now let's move to another area, the thematic area. One of the papers reported that the 2027 election is going to be economic reforms versus cost of living. That those are the things that will dominate campaign. Can you speak to that?
It's already been what the opposition has pitched against the incumbent. We've seen, of course, Atiku
Atiku has been
Abubakar
very
and
vociferous.
former governor of Anambra State, P2B, talking about the need to save Nigeria, the economy and all. So already that is the agenda that's set naturally, because we've seen a decline in what the economic indices are. But the statistical indices are telling us something different. The presidency is also telling us that reforms are working. But Nigerians are saying, how soon can we begin to see these reforms reflect in our very lives? And how soon can we begin to actually profess that it is our reality? So that's why economic reforms will definitely dominate the conversation. But we do hope as well that the president is able to show, because he will tell you in different sectors, he has a scorecard already. And that's what Nigerians need to see at this time. It is not time for us to keep bickering. Even those, the opposition who are talking about, that the economy is bad, you can also tell us your scorecard from previous, because these people have held political positions in the past. So it's not just a function of holding the president to ransom just because that is what's in our present consciousness. That's what Nigerians know presently. Obi can go into the archives to present his scorecard as governor of Anambra. And then Atiku, as vice president, should also show us his scorecard about the reforms that were done during his time with former president Olusegun Obasanjo. So because he supported the president in achieving those things, perhaps we believe so. So these are the things. Let us get into the issues and see indices, evidence of work. Show your workings.
Yeah.
That is, I believe that's what Nigerians will buy this time around.
All right.
Show workings.
Priska, let's look at this. When our dear president now was campaigning, before 2023, he said, I will by all means possible give you light. And if I do
I
not,
love that part.
vote me out. I'm not campaigning against him, but I'm saying,
It was
are we
those were his
seeing
mandates.
the issue of, what is it called?
Power.
Dominating campaign. People promising us that they'll give, because I think that should be a campaign item. Because one of the things lacking and devastating Nigeria's economy is the fact that we don't have power. So, do you see that dominating, discourse during the campaigns?
I surely hope it does. I surely hope it does. Although so far I have not heard any of them, touting that they are going to put forward the promises on power or energy supply.
Yes.
But I hope it does, because, like you said, it plays a major role. We have seen a lot of companies fold up right here in Nigeria, but just because of the cost of production. Now, I was opportune to speak to a founder recently, and she told me the reason why she had to, shut down.
The founder of what?
She has a manufacturing company.
Okay.
Yes, she has a manufacturing, she's into food. And so she was talking about the fact that the money, the amount that she spends on production, and most of this, the huge part of this amount or cost of production goes to power, because there is no power. So she has to generate power. She automatically becomes Minister of Power, like most of us today do in our various homes and our businesses. And when she calculated the amounts it cost her to produce, she had to shut down. And that is really, really very poor and very discouraging. And we have a whole lot of Nigerians out there who are suffering the same issue. So I think the issue of power or energy supply should be one of the major talking points, in their manifestos. Of course, like you said, we have President Bola
in their campaigns,
Tinubu.
because I don't think they have
talking about
manifestos
that,
these days.
and he said that if I don't give you power, please,
by all means, he said I will give you power by all means possible. And if I don't,
we're seeing that
but
is
let's
not
leave it more so
happening,
that it doesn't look like I'll come to success. Just wait a minute. Now, going forward from this thing, one other thematic area that is so important to Nigeria and Nigerians is the issue of our dear NNPC, our refineries, our crude oil, what we are doing with them. Now, over the years, we have seen that it has become tradition that the president is now doubling as president and the minister of petroleum. Now, how do we see the petroleum sector forming part of campaign discourse?
Yes, just recently we heard that the FG says that is that our refineries will bounce back again, we come back again. How? So tell us, we want to see how, or we just want to see them, yes, functioning. Then we know that, yes, the FG is doing something and is keeping to his words. You get? Yeah. So now, talking about our petroleum sector now, he is the Minister of Petroleum. He's controlling. First of all, he took away subsidy. And now our economy is not getting better. The question is, can I live better than I was doing before? Do you understand? So Nigerians are tired of, not having, we can't refine our own crude products. We have to buy refined crude products, and we have refineries laid down. These things need to get working. These are the things that will bring about a reform in our economy.
Now, the president has said so. I also guess it's part of campaign promises.
Another campaign promises.
But now, let's come this way. A whole lot is going wrong in the way we run our petroleum industry. So much money the industry is spinning. And then the more the money is coming, the poorer the people are. What do you think can be done or should be the approach to campaign run about the petroleum sector?
I'll reply this way. At what point is Nigeria or the leadership going to declare a state of emergency in the petroleum sector? Perhaps not even just the petroleum sector, energy system. As it were, in Nigeria. We talked about PAR when she was contributing. I wanted to chip in that we have a total generating capacity of over 13,000 megawatts, but we're just able to supply about 4,500 thereabouts. All the other is lost. And we've also seen the seat of PAR, Aso Rock, go off grid. I think that's something we should talk about, because now off-grid appears to be the solution, but we know how difficult and how expensive it is for anyone who wants to install maybe solar systems and all of that in Nigeria.
Or windmill.
Yes, or any of the alternatives. Now, talking of petroleum as well, we've seen that we haven't quite figured it out. We have Dangote doing the much he can, but we do know that if all our refineries begin to work optimally, that the problem of petroleum can be solved in Nigeria. So at the point where it can be solved to a large extent.
You can't solve it.
Some countries have solved the issue of petroleum.
The reason why you cannot solve it,
let me tell
you, the reason why I think you cannot solve it is that most of the technology is imported. The whole technology, the whole gamut of production, prospecting is alien to us.
So what is there if they are being imported?
You must have this importation factor, where your money is competing with the dollar to bring in the technologies. So
for
you can only meet.
Crude.
Yes, we have the crude oil. Yes, we don't have the means to refine them.
But I think that is where we should bring in those machines.
They produce the machines themselves, who have been able to navigate their way through.
You see, there are two ways to technology. Now, let me give you an example of what is happening that is giving me concern. Now, a few of our people that have worked in the refineries and have idea of how the crude is processed, they started what we call, I don't know what to call them now, modular refineries. By by which they do their refining by the water side. They get crude, they heat it to the level they want to heat it to get heat again to get. Now, do you know that the federal government set up task force?
Yes,
to go and be destroying.
If I was coming to
instead
that.
of
and that's not
encouraging
good.
these people. How can we improve? Because technology, you don't. There's something they say transfer. You don't transfer technology. You buy technology. You buy it because no matter how it is, no matter how you code it, is generic. So if I know that this is the machine that they are using, I can save up money and buy. Save up money and get experts to train our people on it. Now, over time, nobody has monopoly of technology. It's what you see, you take it. This is what they're talking about China. China takes what you have, looks at it, improves on it, and starts using it.
I really think we need to.
We have not even developed the willpower to do. No political will. All we are doing is fetch oil, sell in dollar, put money in the pocket. The one I can steal, I steal. Stash it. That's what is going on.
I think there's another topical issue you just raised. I think we need to do something about it because every day I read the news. If we are talking about the Nigerian Navy going to Barakumo or some other places in Rivers State, in Bayelsa, destroying refineries and all of this. I don't think that's a solution because if we keep destroying it, how then are we going to grow?
Okay.
Well, how are we going to grow? That means we keep importing technology.
Like you said. Well, I think
yes.
Okay, maybe
this thing is the prerogative of the federal government. Thank God they are unbundling some of those things. Because if people can come up with the idea that if I continue to heat this crude oil,
it will come out refined.
It will come out as kerosene.
They will find a way to improve.
Yes.
That's an initiative that can be developed.
Yes.
But the point is, instead of you are not seeing them as criminals
and destroying
them. Other clients, they don't do that. When you come up with exceptional ideas, they instead carry you in and then they will even confine you, feed you well, pay you well, and tell you how can we develop this thing for a broader interest. That's what we have not done.
That is what, let me come in here. That is what the Nigeria government needs to do right now and needs to look into critically, because these persons are doing something, that is supposed to, save our economy.
Okay.
But right here, I feel what they are doing is stop those people from doing this, because we need to sell the things in dollar and, pocket the ones we can pocket, steal the ones we can steal, enrich our family, our generation, and so on. But now it is beyond that right now, because our economy is not selling well right now. It is beyond that. So you need to get those people, improve on them, keep them. How can we improve on this? If it's to import the machines, we should import the machines, which is going to be beneficiary more to us. We import them and, start doing our own refining. Let's start refining our own petrol. It is more safer for Nigeria.
I have a question. The Bolivia refineries you're talking about, have you taken time to find out how they obtain the crude?
No, that's what we're saying now. How they obtain the crude is, of course, they are accused of stealing the crude.
Okay.
There's a word they use. I don't know how dictionary correct is.
Maybe bunkering. Yes.
This bunkering, I don't know how dictionary correct it is. But they steal the crude. Now, what I'm saying is that for a government that is futuristic in its thinking, this will steal the crude. Yes, it's an issue. But that they are doing something because if they refine the crude oil, for instance, into kerosene, into fuel, they don't drink it. Okay. They still send it to the market. And we're having shortages, so they are solving problems by other means. Yeah, okay, so, but of course.
But are you aware? Are you guys also aware that this crude are being found in oil wells in their own locality, in their own community?
No,
they are not even identified yet. Maybe they are not even identified. Yes, we're not exonerating, but they are being found. This crude, they found them in their own community.
And of course, we know that
you are coming as a Niger
Delta person. It's under the purview of the federal government.
Yes,
that is why
it's a one-line
as an illegal activity.
Yeah.
So the advocacy this morning is not for modular refineries to operate without government approval.
Yes.
We have to be clear about it.
It has been legal.
No. It is only for the illegality to be legalized and for public good. We need to be clear about what we are advocating.
Yeah.
We're not advocating. We're not approving in that they should continue stealing.
We need to be very clear about the position we are taking.
It's clear.
To legalize the illegality for public good. That government can optimize it and make sure that it works for Nigeria.
Put more succinctly, somebody is criminally doing something that is beneficial. So what do we do?
I like how you put it.
Yes. What do we do? Because stealing the crude is criminal.
We find a way to stop
Now,
criminality.
for you to now say that this is the prerogative of the federal government to refine, and therefore you destroy what they are doing, it's also not beneficial. So what we do? Such a person, maybe DSS can call such a person, arrest the person, and keep him nickel. How did you come by this idea?
How did you get the idea?
How did you build it?
How did you build it?
How can we improve on
So,
it?
so this thing you are
extract the
doing now,
oil first?
if we want it to benefit the entire nation, what can we do?
How
But
can
you
we
see,
improve
we
on
are not
it?
doing it because, okay, now, as it stands, the president for some time now, because of the irregularities going on in NNPC, has become the petroleum minister. One would have
Don't
thought
forget that also happened during the
I
time
know,
of
I
the
know,
late
I know.
president.
Now,
Buhari.
one would have thought that the reason why we're doing this is I'm the principal. I am accountable to the nation. I should take account of what is happening.
Especially-
Let me see what is going on here so that we can set things right. But we have seen that even with the president being the what is it called? The petroleum
Minister.
things have not changed. So, well, so much on petroleum. Let's just take one thing before we round off on this program. That is the price of cement at 15,000 a bag. When are we going to lay foundation for our houses?
And of course, for the past 6 months, it's been on a steady rise. And that has occasioned this state of emergency, because that's how I see it. And distributors, manufacturers have been called to a round table to discuss the pricing issue of cement. That's also why prices of house rent,
All right.
house rent in the country have
maybe
increased.
it's going to be matter for another day because our time is up on this. Thank you for your contributions, your idea.
Thank you so much
I hope
for
we're able
moderating
to
this
say
session.
something
Yes.
that benefited the public. Well, viewer, just sit by, stay with us. When we come back, we'll go to other conversations. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Good morning and welcome to Today in History on Dott TV, where we throw back to important events and personalities connected to this day in previous years. August 19th has witnessed significant moments in Nigeria's political, legal, and democratic history, as well as major events and personalities around the world. A notable event happened in 1994 when the military government of General Sani Abacha arrested prominent pro-democracy figures, including Chief Anthony Enahoro, General Alani Akinrinade, and Chief Cornelius Adebayo at the Sheraton Hotel in Lagos. Also on this day in 1916, prominent First Republic politician Chief Augustus Meredith Adisa Akinloye was born. He later served as Minister of Agriculture and Natural Resources and became chairman of the National Party of Nigeria. In another significant event in 2002, a Sharia court in Katsina State upheld the death by stoning sentence against Amina Lawal, attracting widespread international attention and debate over women's rights in Nigeria's legal system. Going further back, historical accounts associate August 19th, 1805 with Scottish explorer Mungo Park's expedition along the River Niger during European efforts to determine the course of the river. On the international scene, Afghanistan gained independence from Britain in 1919, marking a major moment in the country's history. In 1934, Adolf Hitler consolidated his position as Germany's supreme leader following a national plebiscite, paving the way for his complete control of Nazi Germany. Also in 1960, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 5, carrying animals into space and returning them safely, a major milestone in the space race. August 19th also marks the birthdays of notable personalities. Coco Chanel, the influential French fashion designer and founder of the Chanel fashion house, was born in 1883. In 1946, Bill Clinton, who later became the 42nd president of the United States, was born. And in ancient history, Augustus, the first Roman emperor, died on August 19th, AD 14, after ruling the Roman Empire for more than 4 decades. Interestingly, August 19th brings together Nigeria's struggle for democracy, major milestones in world history, and the lives of influential personalities across different eras. Those are some of the moments and personalities that made August 19th significant in Nigerian and world history. I am Peace Nwokburu. Thanks for watching.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, welcome back, and thank you always for staying with us. We're shifting from conversation to business this time because Louisa, I see this in the studio. Louisa, how are you this morning?
I'm very fine. Good morning.
Louisa with the glow.
Yeah, she's
Welcome,
doing it.
Louisa.
Thank you
She's
so much.
gradually becoming a businesswoman that is making profits.
She is a businesswoman and has been a businesswoman.
Thank you so much.
So what do you have today?
Well, I have a lot, but first of all, let's start with a question that sounds simple, but really isn't. Who feeds and who dresses 220 million Nigerians every single day? 2 new reports out this week put a number to it. We're talking trillions of naira flowing through markets, tailors, and street vendors. So why does so little of it show up in the economy? So let's get right into it. A new report found that spending on food moves more than 450 billion naira every day. Here's the striking part. Most of that isn't the supermarket, it's the informal side. Over 5 million small vendors, the booker, the market woman, the roadside seller. Their transactions move close to 290 billion naira every single day. But only about 1 in 8 of those vendors has a bank account. Most rely on family and friends for money to fund their businesses. The report calls this Nigeria's real food backbone, the overlooked majority of the food economy. And why does that matter this morning? Because more than half of what a Nigerian household earns goes on food, and nearly 2 in 3 households still can't afford a healthy meal. When roughly half our harvest spoils before it's sold, that waste lands directly on the price you pay at the market. If we can fix the storage, the energy supply, the roads, we are not just helping farmers, we will be easing the pressure on every kitchen in the country. Now looking at fashion, Nigeria spends somewhere between 2 and 4 trillion naira a year on clothes. That's almost as much as households spend on rent, and yet fashion contributes less than 0.5% to the economy. So where's the money going? Largely abroad. Nearly 60% of what we wear is imported, and about a quarter is second-hand, the Okika clothing. As for locally made clothing, that makes up under 15% of fashion spending. Even the Ankara that feels so proudly Nigerian. The reality is that around 90% of Ankara sold is imported fabric. Nigerians love fashion, and for how much we are clearly willing to spend on it, this is a market that could be building factories, creating jobs, and generating income from exports. Building out this industry formally is especially important because most of the people working in it are youths and women. In countries of similar size to Nigeria, like Vietnam and Bangladesh, turned exactly this kind of market into a $1 trillion export engine. The demand is clearly there. We just need the government initiatives to formalize and build out this industry so we reach our full capability. And now our final report comes from the ride-hailing platform InDrive. They looked at what people are actually spending across town through their courier service this year. The number 1 item, clothing and footwear, making up nearly 40% of deliveries. Food and drinks come second and about 28%. This really paints a picture of the scale of our informal economy. Every one of those deliveries is a vendor somewhere fulfilling an order from their phone, a small business often run from a home or a small shop. That's the $1 trillion naira informal economy those reports describe. We are watching it move, one dispatch rider at a time.
Interesting thoughts. Interesting.
You have come again.
Yes.
The core of the Nigerian economy, as you've told us, we have the 2 Fs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, which are
Food and fashion.
food and fashion.
Yes.
Yes, and how that can reverse the worrisome state of our economy.
Yes.
It's very important, and that food was appetizing anymore.
Yes, I noticed it
Yeah.
was really
You
looking
make
appetizing.
I imagine that stew with okra.
Yes.
Just,
That's oil
just
pepper
combine
stew.
it like
I was already
something.
salivating.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But the question
coming to
is,
serious, okay.
yeah, the question is, must we really import? Now we also have to import fabrics.
Yes.
We make Ankaras as well.
Yes.
And we have to import fabrics that we need to make, some luxury fashion wears and so on. Why?
Like the economy right now, if you look at the fashion industry, it's booming in the economy. So
It
it's
is.
quite sad that Nigeria isn't focusing on fashion. And you hear that the Ankara that everybody's saying, oh, it's Nigerian. It's not totally Nigerian. It's most of it is being imported, which is sad.
I feel
No,
especially
look
those
at the way
beads
it
and
goes.
so on.
I think
know.
the tendency is also part of the problem with our economy.
Yes.
Now, the naira as against the dollar is so poor.
Yes.
So everybody, including farmers, it's not just fashion. When they produce what they do, they try to get it in quantity that is exportable so that they can get money.
Get back their
in
money,
dollar.
get profits. Yes.
That is the trend. I noticed that even small farmers, when they finish farming, they gather their yam, they go to the nearest market, sell off. Before you know it, your tubers of yam are going to Ghana, are going for export. The other day we talked about the story of onions.
Yes.
Onions that were now that trailer load of onions, and there was a time that the onion was an issue. One ball of
It
onions
was very expensive because it was
Even
scarce.
now, it's very expensive right now.
Now the reason is that the farmers are not now targeting our local market; they are targeting the international market. So the same with our oil.
I think
Our
because
oil,
everyone
we
wants
fetch
to earn in dollars.
Yes. So if something can be done to reduce the differential between the dollar and the naira, so that when I have my money in naira, it can buy me one or two things, then nobody will be bothered. Or by the time what you pay to export is an issue, or embargo is placed on export on certain regulating the sectors, I'm sure we'll come up with something.
Talking about the local production of textiles, I remember when we had Nigerian wax.
Yeah.
I don't quite know if we still have it, because anything you find that is produced locally, it's likely going to be very expensive because of the fact that we don't quite have that ease of doing business and the glass. So it's actually cheaper for some people to import and sell.
That's what I'm saying.
So those are the issues. If we can solve
even
the
when we
energy
manage to
issues,
produce,
solve
we
some
should
of
tell
these
off.
issues.
And then people who want to use them.
Those are the challenges
Like
that we have.
If the fashion industry is booming,
Yes,
it's booming.
if productivity
Nigerians
is
like
made
fashion.
easier in Nigeria and they see the people manufacturing it, they see great profit in it, they won't need to export and all those other things. They want to, do the things based here just in Nigeria, and that will in turn improve the Nigerian economy.
Yes,
Talking about there's this public figure who promotes made in Nigeria products.
Okay.
In fact, wears made in Nigeria. We have a few of them. And when he was able, over the years, he sustained that and now has a following of people who admire.
Who want to do like him.
But when they go to the market to buy that same thing, you cannot buy it because it's too expensive.
Yes.
So in as much as he's tried to be a model for people, we cannot follow because our buying power is not, cannot
up to her own.
When you go to the market and you cannot buy, just go home. So that is the issue. If we can solve this problem and begin to produce locally and at an affordable price for those who want to buy into the Nigerian fashion or local fashion, I think that would have made progress.
Yes, and I also feel another factor affecting this is why people mostly import is because most of the times when you go to the market, the ones they deemed as original, as Nigerian products that are original, are very, very expensive. And so they tell you, okay, we have this one for the low grade, this one the lower grade, and so you can have about 3 of it, and this one that you feel is original, you want to keep up with trend, it's very expensive. But the ones they import, the ones that are imported, they seems to be a bit cheaper, not as expensive. Yes. Even so, I for one, I would not want to go for the really lower grade. One. I wouldn't want to go for the really lower grade, but at least this one is coming from outside the country, and it's not compared to, in terms of authenticity to this lower grade, and it's a bit cheap. So what do I do?
Do you know about the Export Promotion Council? Do you know about them? What they do is to drive people, business owners, because they feel that, oh, let's improve exports.
Yeah.
And I think what is going on shows that they're doing a good job. But we should strike a balance.
No,
We should strike a
you're doing
balance.
you're doing a good job, yes, because in the final analysis, when money is coming from outside in terms of dollar, ab initio, dollar is for the federal government. Because if you have a domiciliary account, when you want to spend domestically, you don't spend, you change it to naira before you spend, even though you have this advantage of the money you have earned has given you plenty of money. But once money comes from across the borders into the country in foreign currency, simplistically, the money is for the federal government, because they check that as what they have as foreign exchange. They go to the banks, they borrow them, they use them to do imports. So promoting Export Promotion Council, promoting export is not doing that to the benefit of Nigerians. It's to the benefit of the federal government. Are you seeing it?
Yes.
So, but what the point is making, how do we create this to be that what we produce here is making life easier for us and impacting our own economy?
I wouldn't say that they are just promoting
for
just
the federal government
Okay.
alone.
Because there are business people whose businesses have been sustained just because they keyed into the drive by the Export Promotion Council. Some businesses would have folded up.
Yes.
So that's why I said we need to strike a balance between the need to produce locally and optimally, and of course for people to get them in an to make it affordable, and the need to earn forex. If we don't strike that balance somehow, those who manage the economy should sit down and think through, how do we determine, because we should know how much we're exporting, how much we're keeping back, to be able to be sustainable as a country.
And that will in turn improve the economy in a way that we have never seen before.
Well, so much on that. We should look at, I think the holistic thing is about what we are doing with our power, the production process, and then the overvalued dollar against the naira. Once that is settled, then we can strike a balance. Well, viewer, just sit by. When we come back, we'll continue with you. Another conversation. Don't go away. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Good morning and welcome to Today in History on Dott TV, where we throw back to important events and personalities connected to this day in previous years. August 19th has witnessed significant moments in Nigeria's political, legal, and democratic history, as well as major events and personalities around the world. A notable event happened in 1994 when the military government of General Sani Abacha arrested prominent pro-democracy figures, including Chief Anthony Enahoro, General Alani Akinrinade, and Chief Cornelius Adebayo at the Sheraton Hotel in Lagos. Also on this day in 1916, prominent First Republic politician Chief Augustus Meredith Adisa Akinloye was born. He later served as Minister of Agriculture and Natural Resources and became chairman of the National Party of Nigeria. In another significant event in 2002, a Sharia court in Katsina State upheld the death by stoning sentence against Amina Lawal, attracting widespread international attention and debate over women's rights in Nigeria's legal system. Going further back, historical accounts associate August 19th, 1805 with Scottish explorer Mungo Park's expedition along the River Niger during European efforts to determine the course of the river. On the international scene, Afghanistan gained independence from Britain in 1919, marking a major moment in the country's history. In 1934, Adolf Hitler consolidated his position as Germany's supreme leader following a national plebiscite, paving the way for his complete control of Nazi Germany. Also in 1960, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 5, carrying animals into space and returning them safely, a major milestone in the space race. August 19th also marks the birthdays of notable personalities. Coco Chanel, the influential French fashion designer and founder of the Chanel fashion house, was born in 1883. In 1946, Bill Clinton, who later became the 42nd president of the United States, was born. And in ancient history, Augustus, the first Roman emperor, died on August 19th, AD 14, after ruling the Roman Empire for more than 4 decades. Interestingly, August 19th brings together Nigeria's struggle for democracy, major milestones in world history, and the lives of influential personalities across different eras. Those are some of the moments and personalities that made August 19th significant in Nigerian and world history. I am Peace Nwokburu. Thanks for watching.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, welcome back. And of course, we're always happy to come to this segment because after the tense atmosphere of discussing the state of our nation, elections, business, economy, we have a soft landing when Kira comes to the studio with entertainment gist.
Let's
Good to see you. Good to see you, Kira.
Good to see you, Kira.
Why are the ladies wearing red? What's going on?
Right.
Ladies in red. I'm blessed.
It's
I'm blessed in your
Ladies
midst.
Wednesday.
Dr.
You forget
Fiona
it's Ladies
Moore
Wednesday.
I'm
Oh,
blessed.
yeah, Wednesday.
I'm blessed in your
more
Yes,
midst.
it's the
color.
same shade
Yeah.
of blood.
Yeah, I saw.
All right. So
Yeah.
entertainment.
Take it
What do you
away.
have?
Oh,
What's the gist?
Well, gist plenty, full ground. But I have to take quite a few for us to talk about this morning. And this is, Davido has been in the news ever since the uncle's, his uncle's victory. Even before that.
Some people say it's victory.
Even before.
Some people
It's
say
victory. I think it's victory.
I've seen flyers.
Oh,
or
his
graphics.
victory.
Yes,
Yeah.
flyers or graphics where you find the governor and the small governor.
Yes. I mean, when he was declared winner, he was watching and someone say, "You won." Like Davido won.
Yeah.
Because he went through a lot to make
He
this.
went through a lot. He came out on the
He
streets to
influenced-
also campaign.
You get like
Youth mobilization
Yes.
was the strength of the
Yes.
Let's come to your gist.
he was very, very particular about that. But anyway, away from that, victory is the case. Now is between him and Wandeko, and Wandeko has fired back at his colleague Davido following a revelation regarding why his feature on the hit track "Come My Way" was never officially released. The development was disclosed in a post shared on Wandeko's official X handle. And reacting to Davido's remarks on the unreleased track, Wandeko expressed frustration over attempts to dictate how the record should be put out, pointing out that the song already had a structured release strategy before the external input. Now, blasting Davido, Wandeko wrote on his own X page, he said in his words, carry song on you as how. Song will be get release plan and dates. Song will not be your own. You want dictate release plan. That song did well without you on it. And this rift was started after the video went on a podcast and said that what made their creative collaboration not see the light of day was that Wandeko came to him for a feature on that particular track, "Come My Way." And the video dropped what he called phenomenal verse on the track. The disagreement now started when the release date was now announced. One day wanted to release the main song and then put Davido's feature as a remix, which Davido objected to this. And in Davido's own words during the podcast, he said, he hit me up at the time to do the song. He hadn't released it, so I recorded that verse, and that verse was hard. I think he wanted to drop it first, then drop my own as a remix. And I was like, no, I didn't record it as a remix. It would have been nice, to see them collaborate together. I don't know if you guys know the song "Come My Way." It trended 2023. He actually knows.
You don't know Henry.
I work-
more
I
Gen
work-
Z.
suspect.
I
He's more
work
Gen
as a
Z
current
than we
affairs
are.
You're a
officer,
suspect.
and I have love for music.
Yeah, he actually
That's
knows
the truth.
that particular song.
Oh,
But
wow.
the feature never dropped.
No.
You know, because they didn't.
But I actually think that when they took it to heart, the
Um,
way Davido, you know, in his usual style, he
Yeah.
just had to come in, and the way he
Yeah.
ended, it was more like it would have been good
Yeah.
if this had happened, but
It didn't
you know,
happen.
But you know, sometimes when you say these things, people take it differently
I don't understand why he didn't want it to drop as a remix because I mean he was featured
because
in it.
he's Davido. You
But
know,
he used to feature in
has
other
to-
people's song and they
He
said
said he
remix.
did
Like
not
that
do
Ogechi.
it as a remix. Perhaps he put in a lot and he felt it should be part of the main thing.
And or maybe he didn't tell him he was going to drop it as a remix.
Okay. and
Because
it
that
was
way
an
he wouldn't have put so
after-
much.
All
I
that
get
is
it, I
ego
get
problem
it.
for two of them.
Do you think it's
They-
ego
they-
problem?
two of them cannot be innocent. You know, you agree to
can't, it's
do
ego.
a collabo, and then of course in every collabo somebody has the lead. You are coming as and for one thing, whatever role is given to you by one day Cole, because in their circle, one day Cole has his own crowd.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
most of the musicians respect him, even though I try to look for what is in his music, but there's this respect they have
Yes,
for
they
him. So
do.
now, even if it is one line that the video appeared in one day Cole song, it doesn't reduce his personality.
You know, One Day Cole
So
has.
why do you want to make a fuss out of this? I don't know.
Perhaps it was because of the
ego
initial
issue.
agreement. Because when somebody tells you, "I want you to be
Agreement
part of
is
this,"
agreement
yes,
in Igbo land.
and you know these are people who have
If it's my team itself,
structured
Yeah.
management.
I don't mind.
Yes.
What,
Because
what
it's-
it does,
yeah.
what
Yeah.
it does is that
It's
it
even
informs
promoting
my
it
collaboration
more.
with you next time.
Yeah,
If you don't
yeah,
treat me
true.
well, I leave it there. It
Let's
doesn't
talk
still
about.
treat
Let's look
me.
at it from this point of view. You know that this artist, Davido, is not just the guy you see. He has a management. You know, there are people who make these decisions.
Okay.
So when you sign an agreement with them about what's going to be done, and you're going to renege on it, they are at liberty to decide whether to go on with you.
But-
Well,
but
let's
then-
get your
also-
next
But
story.
then,
Also,
Let's
I
get
also
your next
JB
story.
feel-
is a label boss. I mean, he makes and takes the final
No,
decision. And he
yes.
also said that he's always been looking up to One Day
Let's
because
go-
One Day was there
Let's go
way
to your
before
next
Davido.
story.
Yes,
Let's go to
Wendy
your
was
next story.
there before him. But what I feel here is, you know, Wendy actually called him, invited, okay, come and be part of this. Do you understand? So there should be an initial agreement. Okay, when you come in, this is how it's gonna look like. But if there is not, you've done your part. You've featured in the song now. So now Wendy has a song and he's coming to tell you, okay, I want to do this one first and later put this one in to make it look like a remix. All the time I've seen remix, like it has hit it.
Okay.
Do you understand? It has hit it. So I don't see the reason why Davido will want to like, no, why should it be a remix
Your
part
next-
of it?
your next-
so
your next
it's
turn.
all,
Yes.
it's ego.
It's safe to say today is today in history. I mean, we saw that segment before we started.
Yeah.
Because music icon Angelique Kidjo has been honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, recognizing her remarkable global influence, Grammy-winning career, and her enduring impact on African music. Kidjo received this prestigious star in the recording category, becoming the first African musician and the first Black African to receive the coveted Hollywood Walk of Fame honor. So the recognition celebrates some of the remarkable achievements that have defined Kidjo's career, including her 5 Grammy Awards, 18 albums, and decades of using music to introduce African sounds, stories, and culture to audiences around the world. Like I said, today is today in history. It's not easy to.
Okay.
She's a legend.
I mean-
and it's good that we're celebrating
is.
her
I mean-
while she's alive.
Yes, I love the
Exactly,
fact that I
that's
mean
true.
she's alive to
Yeah,
witness
she's
this.
paid the price.
She
and,
took the pictures herself. Nobody
and
took
the
it
way
on.
she's able to, sync with the young generation.
Yes.
Across
Yes.
generations
Yes.
and generations
Yes.
after.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
find her doing collaborations.
With Davido,
She's
Yes,
the queen
with
mother of African
Akon.
music.
Yes,
so we
she
give her her
is.
flowers. Congratulations, ma'am.
Yeah, I think she came on the heels of somebody like Mira Makeba,
Oh yes.
who stood tall in the music industry and was an ambassador for Africa. I think what she brings into the music that stands her out is her energy, even at her age one, and then of course the African effect of her music, the sound, and then of course the voice there are some of the voices you hear in our music that is typical to Africa. Understand? And I see our sister trying to emulate her. What was her name?
Tiwa?
No.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah,
Yemi Alade.
who
And
is my
I don't know
friend.
why I
And
feel
they've done a
like
collabo.
yes.
They've done a
I don't know
collabo.
why.
Yeah,
I don't know why I feel like
Maybe I
another
suspect.
icon that would have maybe been like Angelique Jo if she were to be alive is Yvonne Chaka Chaka or
Yeah.
Brenda Fassie.
Brenda
Yes.
Fassie.
Brenda
Fassie was on
Fassie.
course.
No, but she may not have appealed to those people who give Grammy awards because Brenda Fassie was more. She sang most of the time in English, and I don't know. I don't think she quite fits into what Kijo is representing now.
I think she would probably.
She had the energy, and then of course she
Revolve
was singing
with time.
She was singing. What is it called? Against. She was singing.
Appetite.
Not even Appetite had gone then. She was singing. How do I put it? She was a critic of
black repression.
The status quo ante. Which was put her in the mood of Fela and all that, who sang against structures that are not working.
Fela had world recognition.
Yeah.
So I mean,
so that's what Kijo is doing for Africa. She's making her music very African. Her lines her lyrics are mostly in African languages, and then of course her strength and then her sound.
But I wouldn't say she's an activist though.
No.
She
has a way of being
She's just interpreting.
Unlike
Africa.
Fela that will tell you the way it is.
Fela was an anti-establishment.
Unlike Fela. Anyway, my last story is from the Big Brother Niger house, but this one is from the former Big Brother Niger housemate Erica. She has opened up on the mental struggles she faced after her time on the reality show. The actress revealed that she battled serious anxiety after leaving the show as she struggled with constant insults and criticism from fans and social media users. She said she was grateful for the opportunities it created, but admitted that the constant trolling took a toll on her mental health. According to her, some of the movie producers dismissed her acting abilities because of her background as a Big Brother Niger star. She said some producers cast her in lead roles mainly to attract her fans, rather because they believed in her talent. They don't see her as a talented actress, but because she has like this group of fans that are, just like back then it was Lakon and Miracle. So they just wanted to use her influence to kind of boost their movies and make more money. But at the end of the day, I mean, she was paid. I would like to talk about mental health in our industry. I mean, we are also in the creative industry, just on a different level. How you need to show up regardless of what's happening in your life.
The problem is this. You see, when people are auditioning to go to Big Brother Niger, the question is, what's on their minds? What do you want to do? There is this simplistic, vision of, let that expose me to the world. Now, what do you have inside? Do you know your gifting? Do you know your strength? To build on it. Because most of them just think that when I go to Big Brother house and come out, it has exposed me. Anything I lay my hand to do will work. No, it doesn't work like that.
I think they're coming from a different angle.
Yeah, that's a different angle.
Yeah. No, what I mean is, so when they go out now, and this thing does not give them the blowing they are expecting.
No,
they start having
she blew. She did.
She's blown.
She's having mental health struggles because being in the limelight, sometimes for them it happens suddenly.
Yeah.
These are things and nobody quite sees it until you get to the point.
Yes.
And then people begin trolling you because not everybody will like you. And some people are just made to be, somehow they've just decided to be trolls on social media. So the mental capacity to manage that level of criticism is what a lot of people do not have. I was at the Delta broadcast media conference the other day, and I asked a question.
Which is?
Yes, I asked a question about how we as analysts or presenters can balance between being seen as critics of government or criticizing government and also serving the public good, so that no one thinks, these people, TV staff are attacking us, and
they
all
belong
of that.
to the opposition.
Yes, guess what? Guess who took the question? It was Ayomai Racing. When she got up, she told us, she said that sometimes, some days, people say, she's an APC supporter because of what she said on the show. And tomorrow they say, PDP has paid her off and all of that. So she said that a lot of times, when she's about to break down, her husband says, don't read the comments. Take the phone away from her. So she already has support. Someone who knows her mental capacity, who can help her navigate this. Some of these people, do not have that
Do not
much
have
support
such-
around
Yes,
them.
but then again,
You
some
know.
of them also they need to read what the fans are saying about them, because that is also how they know where to put their creative.
No, sometimes that can confuse you further
yes,
because
there's
and
a difference
no
between
matter how you
insults.
take the phone away, you will still somehow
Because
somehow
you've cited something.
you somehow
so
somehow
if your phone is taken
you
away from
saw
you, part of you
something.
that is taken away from you.
So it,
The truth
Our
is-
life is ingrained in our.
The
Though,
truth is,
if
some
you
people
if
don't
you
know
want to
trying
know
to-
how much we
what
are
is
attached to our
trying to
phone,
say?
Yeah.
how much the phone is a part of our lives,
Yeah.
just be coming to work and forget your phone at home.
No, what she's saying
you
here
will
is
go back.
what she's saying here
it's
is
true though.
trying to help the balance mentally. Like yes, you've seen this comment, you've seen this comment, and someone helping you now to take away the phone so you don't see further. So affects your mental state
At that moment, though.
at that moment.
It's at that
Yes,
moment,
at that
though.
moment. So when they take it away, sometimes it helps, depends on how you as a person, could actually manage it, just come out of it immediately. But there are some things that you will see, even when the phone is taken away from you, your
You still
mind,
cannot come out of
your
it.
mind
So
will,
that's
will
what she's
still,
saying. That you need a strong person.
Yes, a
Just
stronger
to add
person,
to that,
yes.
because you raised a
Mind.
vital question that we also need to know what people, celebrities, they also need to know what genuine fans are saying about them. That is also why support systems are very important, because your support system can also monitor. There are people who are employed by some of these big people to manage
Yes,
their
to
social
manage
Okay,
their
so
social
Fifi, let's
media.
take for example when Tiwa's ex-boyfriend, according to her, that was his or her ex-boyfriend released
And
yeah.
A tape of their
a tape of their intimate
of their
moments together.
intimacy.
How do you get over that?
All right,
That
you're
is
taking us
easy.
to another.
That's easy.
Viewer, you have heard from Kira. That's why we like her coming here. She has a way of,
least
cooling,
Tiwa has recovered.
cooling the temper. Stay with us. When we come back, another conversation. Thank you, Kira, for coming.
Thank you.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, welcome back. And of course, we are going to another area. Our country is a multi-ethnic, multi-tribal, multi-religious nation, and of course, always the federal government through the National Orientation Agency and other media try to, encourage, peaceful coexistence among the ethnic groups. And that's why today we also at Dott TV and on Morning Dew want to remind you of the need for inter-ethnic relations, the need to increase and enhance harmony among the different tribes, different ethnic groups living in an enclave. So we bring you a conversation that Morning Dew had with the leader of the Arewa community in Asaba and by extension Delta State. I'm sure you will glean wisdom from it. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, welcome back. And of course, we're shifting discussions again. Here we bring you very discussions that make for a better society, that make for better awareness. And we are shifting to inter-ethnic relations because right here in the studio, we have Alhaji Anwalu Tukur, who is leader Arewa community here in Asaba, Delta State, and also chairman Delta State Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Sanu Deswa.
Yeah, well, Sanu Yaiki.
Tom Madala.
Good to have you, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Much.
You're looking very good and sublime.
Thank you very much.
Yes. First of all, sorry I'm asking this way.
Yes.
Where are you from? Which is your state? And what inspired you to come to Asaba?
Well, actually, I was born and brought up here in Asaba.
Wonderful.
Wow.
Yes.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
And I started my schooling here in Asaba.
So your parents were from which state originally?
My father is from Kano.
Okay.
Well, my mother is from Katsina.
Wonderful. You're in Nigeria.
It's complete.
So, yes, you say you were born here and then you
yes.
have grown in this place.
Oh, yes.
Can you tell us about your experience in Asaba, growing up?
Asaba is a very lively place. It's a very good place.
Okay.
We grew up as a community. We interact. You know, we have in our area we call Cable Point.
Yeah.
It's more or less an area whereby you have the non-indigenous.
Yeah.
With some indigenous are also there. So we grew up there as a brothers. Just like during Salah, we celebrate Salah. During Christmas, we celebrate Christmas.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right. Now, what has been your major attraction to Asaba, apart from the things you have spoken about? Because when you are in a place, for instance, maybe your parents will be telling you stories about where you come from. Oh, this thing they are doing, we don't do it in Kano. This thing they are doing here, oh, you can't see it in my place. What are the things that, you identify with and the things that shocked you, growing up? I know you are born here. So Asaba is your first culture, as it were. Yeah. But from the stories you hear from your parents, is there anything that shocks you about the way we lead life here?
Well, actually, there's no much things that shock me like that because when we were growing up, we went to Islamic school. We went to...
You had Islamic school in Asaba?
Well, yes, we had Islamic school.
Okay.
Where you learn how to read Quran.
Okay.
Then we go to normal English school. We interact and live well. When there is this Asaba culture, we prepare for that one.
Okay.
We buy clothes for all those Ine festival and all this. We join them.
Wonderful.
Many of our some that grew up here, they travel somewhere or they were in school, they will come back and join and buy the ways and join the cultural these events.
I can say you've really had a wonderful experience here in Asaba. So now that you've enjoyed that part, so your children, what is your take to your children as well? Like, did you also encourage them to, develop themselves and, have other of their, or you encourage them to go back home, or you encourage them to develop here in Asaba?
I have a daughter, she's married here in Asaba.
Okay.
She grew up here in Asaba, despite the fact they went to school outside Asaba. She came back, some others didn't come back.
Okay.
They were in the north. Some are in Abuja in the school. Some are in Kwale here, this Novena University. Yes. So you see,
Now, let's look at this. Sometimes, as an educated person, you hear news about inter-ethnic violence. Maybe you hear that, the Igbo community in Kano has been raided, there was a riot and people were shops burnt and all that. How do you feel about those things? And how do you preach against them?
You see, actually, that thing started during 2006.
Yes.
It's during 2006 when there is a crisis at Onitsha.
Okay.
Because we that were born here, actually, Asaba here is our home. Even though when you go back to the north, some of our relation doesn't know you.
Yes.
Or they will be say, this one na Igbo man, this one, say they know Bendel. They say this one na Bendel man.
Yes.
Na Bendel, all this thing. When that thing happened, we are not really happy at Onitsha.
Yes.
But because our people moved down to Asaba.
Okay.
That time it was during our leader's time, Chief James Onanefe Ibori.
Okay.
I placed a call to him. He mobilized security down to the River Niger to save so many of our people that were crossing down. And some of them that were injured, he made sure say they were catered for. And a camp was open at Ogwashuku.
Okay.
That time.
I'm aware of that.
Yes. The camp they were taken there. They were fed for over a month, almost 2 months or 3 months. Some of them were that wants to go back to the north. They were transported back to the north. He take care of them. That are government of Delta to take care of them. And at the end of the day, he asked at that time, Deputy Governor Ilue, may he so rest in perfect peace, and our former governor, Dr. Emmanuel Eweta Odua, to look for a space. That is why you see they now find that Oko market.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. It was given by Ibori, and when Okoa come, he made sure say everybody moved there and expand the place.
Okay.
That's our leader. That's my father, Dr. Ifeanyi Ato Okoa. I call him my father because...
You have many fathers now,
yes.
starting from Ibori to...
Yes.
Yeah, I see the way you are trending.
Because Okoa trained us politically.
Okay.
We are his disciples. We learn from him.
Okay. Now, let's come back to this, because you have now drifted into politics. Are you a politician?
I'm a politician.
So what attracted you to politics?
Actually, my late senior brother is a politician. He contested for councillor then. That time, years back, during NRC SDP.
In Asaba here?
In Asaba here. We have a lot of Hausa people that contested. Even right now, we have a councillor. One of my boys is a councillor.
Good.
In Ward 13, Oshimili South. So that thing prompted me to also bring in my people. Some of my people doesn't have interest.
Yeah.
But when I came back from school, I developed the interest. I now started as an ex-official for NRC. From NRC during Abacha time, we moved to UNCP. That time, Senator, my late leader, Chief Francis, Senator Mwaji, former senator, he was my leader here in Ushibili South. We're now moving, we are working under him and Okoa.
So now, how much impact do you think the Arewa community has in the politics of Delta State, and in particular Asaba? How much voice do you have? Because we see they appoint you into positions now in the office. How did that come about?
You see, in 1999, before 1999, I was PA to Senator Mwaji.
All right.
We moved around during the formation of PDP. We moved around. He said we should move to PDP. After Abacha's death, there's this G5, I mean, this, they now form PDP, and then we now move into PDP.
Okay.
I encourage my people, drag them
to move
to PDP. They all moved to PDP. There's a different political party. There's one in Mekoke that will bring out that time. But for PDP, some people hijacked the councillorship. We now asked him to move to NSM, which he contested under NSM and win the election that time.
Wonderful.
So we'll continue to be in PDP. We supported the government of the day during Ibori time, we supported him wholeheartedly. And he made sure, say, some people like me, I was appointed as a board member then.
Okay.
Yes. From there, we keep moving everywhere the government are doing things, we support them. We support for everywhere. More especially the Oshimili South interest, we supported it. We support the Asaba Oshimili community at any time. We support the state government.
Now let's look at it this way. You know, politics is such that we go along tribal lines. Let's take, for instance, when you had APC with Buhari. When we say Buhari, you know, the way we think in Nigeria, Buhari is your own person. It's Arewa person. Now, at that time, Delta State was purely PDP.
Exactly.
Now, were you having Arewa people, some of them supporting APC, some supporting, or all of you en masse? Do you support M Block, or you still have amongst you, do you still have people who belong to PDP, some belong to APC? Or you as a community, you galvanize yourself to support maybe your Ajib, any government in power?
Actually, I could remember history. I wasn't born then. When the late Sadana of Sokoto came to Onitsha, they were telling us as a history that he came to them and told them, look, you people are living here, you were born and brought up here. So support the government of that place.
Yes.
Forget us. Up there, forget us. So I took that in my mind always. We were in PDP. We never support, even though now my uncle, they contest for election in the north. I will not support him.
You support
because there's an Asaba adage that says, can
you imagine?
You understand? Where you live is your place.
That's where you
so we supported our candidate, our whoever our party brings out, we support him.
Okay.
From up to down. I mean, from presidency to Senate to House of Rep to House of Assembly to chairman to councillor.
Now, your position as leader of Arewa community, is it a political appointment or something that is ethnic oriented?
It's not political appointment.
Okay.
You see, leadership comes from God and also by the way you are taking your people.
Yes.
Okay.
Your people will have confidence in you.
Yeah.
Whenever there is something, all of them, they rally around to you. I could remember I traveled to Mecca this year. There was a security, something they had here. And everybody, I say, where am I? Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? They didn't see me. So you see, the way you take your people, that is why they will now say, this one is our leader. Anything they will say, this one is our leader. Like yesterday, I just came back from Abuja yesterday. My ward woman leader, they are doing something because they called me when I said, let them go around. I give them money for canopy, this. They say the money has exhausted. I still give them another money yesterday to go and make sure, say, our people, because there is one empowerment by the federal government also, and the state government. So they are checking their names. Because of this financing, I give them money for chairs and all this. All this is part of leadership.
Okay.
Because I'm not around. Because when are you coming back? I'm back. So we're coming back to study politicking.
Okay.
Now in this government, you told us that Okowa is your father.
It's my father.
Now the government now is Ukodo government.
Oh yes.
Do you have any political appointment?
Yes,
what's your position?
My position, I'm the chairman, Delta State Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
Tell us about the activity. How much does the state government involve in your Hajj operations?
State government support us always.
Okay.
Right from Ibori time till today, till tomorrow, state government are supporting the Muslims. They are sponsoring the Muslims to Hajj from day one.
Like how many of you go on Hajj on a yearly basis? How do you structure it?
Things are not the way it is before.
Yes.
The
economy.
The money for Hajj is too high now.
Yes.
It's almost 8 million, 7.9 something per person.
Okay.
Before, some years back, during Ibori, it's about 100 and something thousand. 180, 200,000, something like that.
So when things were good, how many people used to go? And now how many people go for Hajj?
We have a lot of people going. A lot of, but private people are also paying.
Okay.
Like now, if I am Muslim, you want to go, you come and pay to the board. We'll go with you.
All right. What qualifies someone to go Hajj?
Actually, being a Muslim is number one.
That's all.
That's all. You get your passport, you get your document, and make sure say you go and understand through the rituals of Hajj. How do you perform Hajj? How do you do this? How do you do this? Where you are moving from here to here, we'll do all that orientation. We'll do it in our office to lecture them on how to behave.
Okay.
And nobody should take any drugs along with it, because you can be hearing some places, but in Delta State, we never had such a thing.
Okay.
Because we normally used to tell them, nobody should give us bad image.
Okay.
Delta State has been very peaceful, and Delta State has been very good to the Muslim community in the state. So on no account,
Delta pilgrims have represented us very well.
Yes, and on no account should anybody give us bad image. So we never had any issue regarding that. And always we used to conduct ourselves in a very good manner. That is why even the Saudi government, 2003, recognized Delta State and give us an award.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
What did they call the award?
Award of being one of the best states,
best conducted,
best performing state.
Okay.
I presented it to the governor.
Oh, wonderful.
The award, yes.
Awesome.
With my commissioner, Beru for special duty. We are under Beru for special duty. So Delta State is good to go.
Okay, so now that you've, you're now a resident of this state and you've partaken in so many
all
areas,
the elections.
and all the elections, you are involved in politics. So what do you have to say about the government of the day and the security states of the level of the states now?
You see, actually, our governor, Right Honorable Elder Sheriff Oborewori, he's doing well.
Okay.
He's doing extremely well. He's a governor that likes everybody.
Okay.
He doesn't do, there's no any bias, no any tribalism. He takes you as a brother. Because I know for a very long time, I know him for over 20, 30 years. In Wari, because my uncle is the leader of Arewa, Sarki of Arewa in Wari. Okay. I know him very well.
You knew him from Wari?
I know him from Wari very well. He's a good man. Okay. He used to come to Hausa Quarter, because when we have a holiday here, we go to Wari. He used to come to Hausa Quarter. Sheriff has come, Sheriff has come. You know, in Muslim setting, when you call Sheriff, you will see out of 1,000 people, you hardly got somebody who is answering that name.
Okay.
So that name, we used to give him special recognition, special respect. Okay. Anybody called Sheriff, you go see any Muslim, this man is
like a
like a spiritual
leader.
Leader.
Okay.
So that Sheriff, that is what Sheriff means.
Okay.
Just a spiritual.
Now, with your appointments, we expect you're an agent of government.
Yes.
So what is your plan towards supporting the government of the day in Delta, the government of Sheriff Oborewori, and to ensure, because elections are coming,
yes,
how are you sensitizing your people to ensure that en masse you are voting for him?
You see, the support. During the last registration, I will make sure all our people register.
Okay.
We even go to INEC to beg them to come to our wards, wherever our people are. Not only in Asaba.
Okay.
I make sure I go around the whole state to sensitize our people, let them go and get a voter's card. That is number one. That is number one. I make sure I go from here to Wari, to Koko, to Gara, to Sapele, to Patani, to Ozoro Ole, Abo.
Go ahead.
Ekanotis, Ogwashuku, everywhere we go around and call our leaders and the political leaders. Let them go and make sure our people register. That's number one. The last time I went, it was Ole. I had a meeting with the council chairman and the Sarkis and the imams of that local government. We all sit down. I told them, let them go and register. Okay. If they want to support the government, because the Delta State government are doing well for us, more especially with the Arewas, because we have many appointments. Not only me. Okay. I'm not the only one in government. We have other board members that are in government. Okay. We have councillors. We have special assistants that are in government. So To reciprocate is to get our voters card and vote for the government on that very day.
Okay.
That is why I say on no account should one vote go to any other party except APC. From
Tell the people watching
from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to our leader, His Excellency Elder Sheriff Oborewori, to our father, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, and all the 3 senators, and all our House of Reps. Right Honorable Ndude Melu, he's there before, he did well for us.
Okay.
And we believe he's going to do better also. All of them go to our House of Assembly. I went around and told them. And I'm starting from next week, I'm still going around again to tell our people that this is the way forward. Because if you want us to always continue supporting the government, vote for the governor, vote for our president.
What you are saying now, because you are talking to your people now, can you say it in a language they will ask? Can you say it in Hausa language?
Briefly. In Hausa language, I say, mutanen miyan arewa, muna roƙonku ku zaɓi President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, mu zaɓi mai gidanmu Governor Sheriff Oborewori, gona ne na yan arewa, kusan ɗan arewa ne Sheriff. Ko muna so a zaɓi sanatocinmu gaba ɗaya, kowa san former governor mai gidanmu ne. It's my father, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa. He did a lot of things for us. He gave us that market, build security posts, build many things for us in the market. Did a lot of things, empower many of us.
All right, you have come back. You have come back to English. That means you have told them what you want to. Now, before I let you go, maybe this question is personal to me.
Very good.
Anybody that goes to, when we hear Alhaji from this part of the world, it's about a big man, somebody that has money, controls. But we are hearing that somebody who just went to Hajj and come back is Alhaji. So what's the difference between Imam and Alhaji?
You see, Alhaji is somebody who from here visits Holy Land.
Okay.
You cannot become Alhaji until you go to Saudi Arabia. That's you visit Holy Land.
Okay.
That's Mecca and Medina. You go and perform Hajj. That is, when you come back, they call you Alhaji.
Okay.
Then an Imam is somebody who leads the prayer.
Okay.
It's just like pastor or bishop.
Okay.
That is it.
All right. Now, if you're an Alhaji, and an Imam, if an Imam has not gone to Mecca,
it's not an Alhaji.
It's not an Alhaji.
An Imam is somebody that have the knowledge of the Quran.
Okay. It's a teacher.
Before you become an Imam, you must go to Islamic school and get the knowledge.
Okay.
You can, like you don't know anything, you can't lead.
Yeah.
If you didn't go to pastoral school, you can't become a pastor.
That's right. Yeah. We have been with a man who is very amiable, very sublime in his approach to life. Yeah. So we will continue the conversation with him when we come back after the short break. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you news at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.
Yes, welcome back. We're being with a man who is very glib in what he's talking about Alhaji Anwar Tukur, who is the leader of the Arewa community in Asaba. Is it in Delta State?
Delta State.
In the whole of Delta State. Yeah. Now, when you talked about your tour, that you normally go to visit your people, you know, the way you mentioned communities in Delta, it shows you are very versatile. Ole, Abo, everywhere. Now, what is the reception you get? I know you are born in Asaba here, but you see, in every place, there's always factionalization. You are born in Asaba here, bred here. How much do you get reception from the Arewa community in other parts of Delta State? How do they receive you? Are there people who think, why should it be you?
You see, normally when they say leader, I'm not the only leader, but actually I'm political leader here. Before I go to a place, I will let them know that I'm coming. They will prepare for me and wait for me to come. They will mobilize and come out.
Okay.
During the election, and wherever I go, more especially during the election, I used to call the council chairman who is there, and also call the House of Rep there or House of Assembly in that local government that is there to come.
Yeah.
Like the other day, I was in Abaraka before the election. The deputy speaker, I called him. He was engaged on me, but he sent his people. He sent his people, they came there, and I called Ibori's daughter because she's contesting for House of Rep.
Yes.
She sent her people there. And one good thing that happens that in that place is that the circuit of that place, because I normally used to talk to him, he makes sure say he registered more than 500 people in Abraka that time. That the late circuit that is there. He makes sure say he took people from Abraka to Isokolo to get the INEC people registered.
To register them.
Yes. That thing was very fantastic. I make sure say that is why I see some of the circuits when government is about, like some years back, when government are sponsoring them to Hajj, I will make sure say they are part of. Like circuit of one, he has went to Hajj through government sponsor. Like other imams, they went to Mecca through government sponsors.
When you do these visits, how do you get funds? How do you get money? Now that transport is very expensive.
You know, when you have the passion.
Yes.
When you have the passion. The little I have, I used to say, may they take this one, buy cola. You know, our tradition in Delta.
No, it's not even only the cola. I'm talking about traveling. Traveling, fueling your car.
I do it by myself. I do fuel my car by myself.
So, on the whole, how do you see politics in Delta State?
Politics is very fantastic in Delta State. Better than many other places.
How do you
When you go to in the other places in the north, they go to radio, television, abusing this one, abusing that, insulting this one. You don't see that thing in Delta. Like, for example, you go to Kano. Somebody will just enter, go and pay for airtime and start insulting one.
Its opposition.
Yes. But in Delta, you don't see such a thing.
All right. Good to see you. Because as you have come, you have educated us more on how people are coping in Delta State. Now, if you want to place a demand on Delta State government on what you want him to do for you and your people, what would that be?
You see, it's like, you know, what the current governor is doing. He's tying road all over the places. Most of our community, the Arewa densely populated community, like in Wari, he has touched, when you go there, they try the roads in Ibudu, all those Ibudu area, Ibudu market area. The governor is doing well. Like in Asaba, some of the surrounding area, they are doing it. And the Hausa quarter, that is the governor who says going to do the road, and I believe by the special grace of God, last week or last 2 weeks, they came from the Ministry of Capital Territory to measure the road.
Yeah.
So you see, something is going to happen. And there is street lights all the inner and crannies of the area. Government has put in street lights.
Now, most of the structures there are substandard. If government wants to rebuild that place and evacuate people from that place, will it be possible?
Which place?
Your outside quarter.
Outside quarter. We have been there for years.
That's what I'm saying. When they want to rebuild it, they want to build
demolish the houses.
A modern city. They want to. I'm just asking you if they want to, demolish and build a modern city based on the support you are giving government. Will people agree to leave that place?
No.
I mean, temporarily.
Whatever government say, we agree with what government says.
Okay.
You see, right now they are building a modern market. Government are building modern market in Kebu. Okay. That's a modern market. They are building a massive modern market. There, you see, all this is part of. I will have a primary health care center around that area. So government, that is why we must support. I told my people, this is total. My father is contesting. That's right. Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Atoko. One vote will not be out. Our leader is contesting for his second term. That's our brother. Sheriff is our brother. It's our brother. When I say our brother, I mean it's our brother.
Yeah.
We must support him. It is a must. capital letter must. Everybody must support him. All of us will be rallying behind him.
Okay.
From President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to the last person, to the House of Assembly, we will support all of them.
Okay. Now, so much with you, Alhaji Anwar Tukur. He is the leader of the Arewa community here in Delta State, and of course, Chairman, Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you.
And we want to
you,
urge you to continue living in peace in Delta and then involving whatever we're doing.
No problem.
Viewer, stay with us.
Thank you very much.
We'll go to other conversations when we come back. Wake up with us every morning.
We'll bring you at its peak.
Accurate and factual report.
Morning Dew, where every sunrise begins with inspiration and fresh perspectives.